Welcome back everybody to another stream. I'm doing a little bit of an intro here to say we're doing a bonus episode because we beat Ratchet and Clank 3 and now I'm going to show you guys all the fun secret stuff, including a secret level that you can't access without knowing how to do it. What else is new? Yeah, I know. What else is new? It's alright, keeps me sane, I suppose. Okay, so we just beat the game, so here we are on the final level, as it were, but I'm gonna immediately leave here and go somewhere else. So we're all doing the thing. Oh, thank you, Rugby. I've actually never had anyone. I don't think I've ever had anyone on chat tell me that. That's sweet. I appreciate it. If you fall asleep, have a great night. Yeah, no worries at all. If I can help you fall asleep, that actually is cool. Rest is important, and a stream of voice can put you to sleep. That's kind of a compliment. Alright, yep, just spent the money. I went all pimp my ride on this ship. Okay, so where we need to go is Metropolis, but I'm going to quickly stop at the Zeldrin Starport and show you guys one thing that I didn't do during my playthrough that I kind of overlooked because it's not part of the story, but I'll show you guys now because it may be helpful for somebody to know. I appreciate it, Rugby. It's nice to hear some niceness. Alright. So, to those of you that watched me play this, you would have remembered that I took the main path on the left here.
Due to increased security, thermonuclear warheads and nail clippers are no longer permitted as carry-on baggage.
I love that little announcement she does. It's so funny. Very airport security type thing. But yeah, this part is probably going to be easy now that I have all the OP weapons, but we also can just, I did buy the lava, or we haven't used the lava gun this game. I bought it and I've not used it at all. So yeah, we're just going to fight our way through this segment. I skipped it because it's just a bonus path, but it's worth fighting through just to show you guys some more cool secret stuff. Oh, I hit a jackpot crate. Oops. Let's try and cause as much damage as possible then. I'm literally just smashing through this bit because we're kind of on a time limit, considering we changed the PS2 clock. It's alright, we just did all the hard storyline stuff. Let's be a little bit silly. Let's have a little bit silly vibes with this. Our little agent, just in case. Alright.
Passengers are limited to 2 carry-on weapons.
Yeah, these enemies just pale in comparison to the enemies I just dealt with on the final level, so we'll probably get through this relatively unscathed. It helps that I've played the game as many times as I have, for better or for worse. Alright.
Security breach on concourse level. All units respond.
I might have to clear all the enemies in this room though, possibly. I think that's, yeah. And I'm just sending ninjas into another dimension. So great.
Overhead compartment must be checked as luggage.
Alright, I've almost sped through this bit. Time for pro gamer speedrun strats or something like that. Alright, but we're at the end here, so get to show you guys this cool little gadget. Alright, we got the Bulk Grabber V2. So, what is the Bulk Grabber V2? Well, if you played the other games, you'll know that the Bulk Grabber is great for actually earning cash faster because you'll smash things and it's basically it's a combination of the armor magnetizer and the original Bulk Grabber, so you can smash things from a distance, but then it also has the extra pickup distance for your bolts. So it's a great way to earn money. and it would have been great me having it during the playthrough because I would have probably had twice as much money as I have now, but I wasn't really too concerned, and now I've shown it here. So you actually find it at the Zeldrin Starport on the extra path. Now we're gonna head over to Metropolis and I'm gonna show you guys the main event. We're gonna visit a hidden level that, you know, there's only a couple methods to access this. Most of them involve visiting the area at 3 AM, but in my case I just changed the PS2 clock, just to kind of save time and be a sneaky breaky and all that. Alright, now you can actually check the clock time in the game. That's actually really sneaky how they program this. So there's a clock right here. So looking at the time, yeah, I got through the Zeldrin Starport in like 10 minutes. Maybe I could do speedrunning if I ever felt like trying that out. Alright, but we're gonna need to stock up. We're gonna have to fight our way through. Alright, I think it was this glass window. It was actually a hidden area. Yep. Good old Metropolis. Alright, so there's this window here where you get a nice view. This window on the left here hides one secret. This area further ahead hides another. We're gonna quickly grab this one when we have the time. If it will let me swing, yep. Here we go. Titanium bolt. Yeah, so I overlooked this titanium bolt during the playthrough because I knew I would do it all in one hit, so we got that one. I've managed to get a fair majority of them during the playthrough. Here we go, there's a teleporter. It says out of order, come back another time, which is quite amusing, but if you know what you're doing, it won't be out of order forever, which is great. Now, just like last time I tried to access this in Ratchet Clank 2, because there's a hidden level in Ratchet Clank 2 that works in a similar way, I got there early. So there might be a little bit of a time killing here. It's just a neat, you know, it's a neat little cheat that none of the other games have, so I appreciated seeing it. This one down here says unknown. Now I'm going to explain to chat about that one. The unknown code was, it was an actual cheat code that you could only receive from the Ratchet and Clank 3 demo. Now, the actual demo of the game was either on a demo disc from a PlayStation 2 magazine. That was one way to get the demo. The other way to get that demo was to have a copy of it was Sly 2 Band of Thieves. If you owned Sly 2 Band of Thieves on the PS2, you had a hidden demo of Ratchet and Clank 3 because they came out around the same time. They had demo discs of each other hidden in their respective games. So if you played through that demo, you could unlock a code from beating the demo, and then that code would be available here, and you unlock something very cool. Now, because you're talking to K9 here, I know the code off by heart, so I'm going to show you guys right now how to do it. So, pause your game, go... Actually, that's the wrong code. But yeah, so you want to go circle, square, up, down, left, left. And now, I have a new wrench. Or is it? It's not a wrench anymore. Now I have a double-bladed laser sword. That's what they call it, because they don't want to get copyrighted by Star Wars, but, I mean, it's a lightsaber. You know, it's like a purple Darth Maul style lightsaber. It's cool. And fun fact to chat, it has a slightly longer reach than a normal wrench. So I found that during one of the boss battles on Annihilation Nation that you have to do with the wrench only, if you struggle with that level, you might appreciate the extra reach you get from this cheat code weapon. But now that I've actually done the cheat code, it's now unlocked here, so it says here demo code, so now I can just turn it on and off when I want to, so it's not permanent. But you have the option to now activate that. And I didn't really show it during the playthrough because I was looking forward to showing it in this episode here. Alright, here we go, chat. Off we go to the secret level. So the secret level is the Insomniac Museum, to those of you who probably would have figured that out already, but it's not the same Insomniac Museum that would have been in the previous game. It's definitely, in my opinion, it's one that's more content-filled. The one in the previous game definitely had its content, but this one is a whole lot better. Got a little shield, so they're blocking you off from probably my favorite room in this area. But yeah, welcome to the Insomniac Museum, everybody. So, I don't know where I'll begin. This, we can go straight into my favorite room and show you guys that content, but I might quickly stop over here and showcase this stuff really quickly, which is like your concept art and stuff. So if memory serves, oh yeah, you guys may not be able to read this, but I'll read it just in case. A great drawing by Joaquin Barlow served as the inspiration for one of the gladiator enemies, which I think is just awesome. I'm pretty sure if memory serves, the artist on the right goes by the name Creaturebox, so you guys can actually look up his artwork online if you want to. These computers here, some of the computers actually hide little secrets on them, which they don't tell you. So I think this one just has like a wireframe of the actual model. Some of them have pictures of either Dan, there's Dan Johnson. Some of them have pictures of one of the developers' dogs named Hank. Even just random things like, oh, here's a rubbish bin. Like, they didn't have to model that in. They did. Alright, let's listen to a little bit of info. Alright. Originally, in any team, multiplayer controlled all nodes in a battlefield. This monstrosity would appear and wreak havoc across the map. It was ultimately cut because it was too complex. To be fair, kinda glad they did. It really would have made the game too complex, but they're interesting designs nonetheless. I definitely would have fought these as just in-game enemies. And there's different animations you can see them do. It's a lot more interactive than the previous museum. Also, thank you for the 8k points. Oh, we're getting close to that. The run cycle. There's a death animation. There's a knockback. A jump. There's like a lunge. See, I think the Insomniac Museum definitely inspired my interest in, you know, both, you know, behind the scenes stuff for movies and games. This is another prototype, but this one was never mapped with collisions or anything, so it's purely as is. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my favorite section. It's basically Ratchet & Clank's Home Away from Home. Away from home, away from home. Haha. That's so funny. Alright. Because it's modeled to basically be like the Starship Phoenix, but with a whole slew of other things. But we're gonna have to hack our way in to get there. Oops. Whoops, I was meant to shoot those. Okay, try that again. That section there. Stage 2 or 4. Alright. The shield's gonna disperse. Oh, these puzzles are brain bending. Ah, okay. Through that bit? Alright. Let's see if we can get through this section here. Oh, that shield's gonna shoot a lot of reds at me. I'm losing. Ah, okay. I was trying to hold focus there, chat. Just made that one through. That was pretty clutch. Alright. It's the final stage now. So if I rage quit and exit, I have to start from square one, so I'm determined. Got it. Now that that one's open, she'll be clear for us to visit the room. Alright. You get to see some cool stuff. So this is one of the robot enemies from Vid-Comic 3. So they have the different like animations for him. He's got a laugh animation. Stop. Hold, as they do knockbacks and all that. Stuff that you wouldn't think about, but they have to really program this. It's cool. Alright. Alright. Oh, Mike's out, one of the programmers, there you go. Because the enemies appear so small on the screen when playing the Qwark Vid-Comics, we thought we'd bring them closer for your viewing pleasure. Appreciate it, Mike. It's alright, I know people poke fun at Mike a little bit, but he's, you know, all the programmers do a great job. Alright, this is one of the pirates from level 1, but as you'll find out in a moment, there's more to it. Little mice with the funny heads, headpieces. And these little enemies from Vid-Comic 4, they were like these, evil robot bugs. Alright. So I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but the Insomniac Game Pyramid, this was in the second game, and it had a hidden video game even in that level too, but anyway. Okay. This unnamed level was the first level ever designed for the Captain Qwark Vid-Comic rounds. Because it was very early, many of the concepts we tried here didn't work. As a result, we cut the level. It is preserved here for historical purposes. Now you can play the original uncut, uncensored version of a Qwark Vid-Comic. Booty is in the eye of the beholder, featuring a different gameplay and the cut boss, Captain Blackstar. So, what were these two talking about, might you ask? There are 2 hidden Qwark Vid-Comics available on this Insomniac Game Pyramid that you can play. So, one of them is an alternate version of the first Vid-Comic. It's a very, very long Vid-Comic, because initially the Vid-Comics pretended to be longer, but then they, you know, they reworked it. And Captain Blackstar, although Rip did not become a boss in this game, he did return as an enemy in a later Ratchet Clank game, so pretty cool. And the other level, this one was just another one that you'll see me play. So we'll do the unnamed one first, and I'll show you guys that one. This one kind of, I wouldn't say it's endless, but it's not completely finished, and it's actually, the difficulty's up so high because it was mostly used for testing. So these enemies were also cut from the game. They were only used for this hidden Vid-Comic. But it's cool to be able to have the option to sit here and play it. And it only has 88 tokens because, again, this level was never finished. And now I'm jumping on acid. Nice. Okay. But yeah, in case you guys weren't here in a previous part, there was a cheat code where you go up, up, down, down, left, right, circle, square, square. But you do that, actually not during a pause menu, funnily enough. So... Alright, so sometimes this bug will happen. Instead of playing the skin, it'll actually do what's called a dark Qwark skin, which is just, to anyone who knows anything about game development or even, you know, digital art design, basically it's removed a bunch of alpha channels. But it's still cool. When this happens by accident, you'll have just a silhouette of Qwark, so it's quite funny. I was actually intending to show a different skin, but sometimes this will happen as a result of trying to unlock the right skin. Quite amusing. So yeah, it'll sometimes trigger when trying to unlock one skin, you'll unlock this one instead. So to be honest, I don't actually know if this level has an ending. I'm pretty sure it's just kind of abrupt. You just run through all this and it just... You just abruptly wait around, there's no like end sequence or anything. Plus it's a very, very hard level, so... Alright, so that's actually the skin I was trying to unlock. Captain Qwark and his stupid little tutu. But yeah. I think it's also a better choice of soundtrack than the previous Ratchet Clank game, because the previous Ratchet Clank game chose a soundtrack from a desert. So ironically, running around that museum with desert music just made it feel emptier, as opposed to this one, which has, you know, a bit of a wacky type of soundtrack. Oh, and extra voice lines from Qwark as well that you won't hear during normal gameplay. Yeah, so parts of this segment were used in a mission, but otherwise, yeah. You could definitely play around with this Vid-Comic a fair bit. I'm gonna show you guys the other one, and it's a fairly long-ish one in comparison to the others, where it only takes you a couple minutes to beat. It's just how they load you back in. They'll always just load you at the ship. Alright, so special edition. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. If you have any questions or you'd like me to slow down or anything like that, just let me know. Alright, so an alternate cut of the original Vid-Comic. It's also just darker in hue for some reason. I wonder if they did that on purpose or not. Like the lighting's different. And there's also these cobwebs and stuff. Like, I'll point out whatever I can, but yeah. This section here was changed partially to be an elevator, and I can see why. It's just too, it's too complex. I imagine a game tester probably pointed out that it's just not as refined as it eventually came to be. Like, I remember the first time playing this, and I remember struggling a lot, and I'm struggling right now. It is interesting to hear this soundtrack, so if anybody's recognizing the song, it's actually a track from Ratchet Clank 1 that was used for only one mission. So it seems very fitting for it to make a little comeback in a cancelled Vid-Comic. Oh, I was kind of hoping to show you guys more of the level, not to get stuck here, to be honest. See, and in this level, it's done the, it's just darkened the hue for some reason. So you really have to code these jumps, and it's too, I agree, it's way too complex. Like, you know, the actual Vid-Comics are still hard, but this one's definitely, complex. Like, when you play through it, sadly I'm not showing you guys enough of it, but when you actually play through it, there's some interesting, like, mechanics and stuff that they use that the actual other games don't have. Like, there's a section where you have to collect 3 gems to open a door. Like, it's very similar to, like, those old 2D platformers you would have played on a Game Boy or a mobile phone or something. It has you trying to collect those gems to open a door, and it feels almost Crash Bandicoot-esque in some parts. But then it's also, but it's also just kind of really long, and then when you get to the boss, there's like a boss fight at the end, and it's different to the actual boss that you get in the final version. So, yeah, I generally would sink a lot of time into that room alone, and there's so much more to show you guys. So I'm gonna show you guys the room of Hank. Hank says, when a friend is down, raise them up. Aw, how cute is that? Wiser words have not been said. Hank says run free, and let none sway you from your path. Aw, Hank is cute. I don't know which member the dog belongs to, but it was regularly in the offices. Hank says I'm proud of you, so stand tall like me. If anybody needed some wholesome pick-me-up, there you go. And my favourite, Ratchet and Hank. It's just got Ratchet on the dog. I know it's badly photoshopped, but oh, how can you not love Hank? It's just funny. I think it says something like dog on racing or something. It's not the highest quality asset. Whether you're viewing it on stream or even from the capture card itself, it's not the clearest thing to read, but they're basically joking about making a racing game. Where's that racing game, Insomniac? Huh? We never got a Ratchet and Clank racing game. We did get Ratchet and Clank as cameos in Jack X Combat Racing, but we didn't get a Ratchet and Clank racing game. Alright, Carl, what do you got for us? Hank, the fearless wiener dog, was chosen by his owner, Carl Grande, as a de facto mascot for Insomniac Games. These are pictures made by Carl to push Hank's celebrity status. Oh, good old Hank. There you go. I hope you all enjoyed the room of Hank. Let us press on to more adventure. We've got some more cut enemies and stuff like that in here. This robotic canine was originally intended as a weapon in Ratchet Clank 2. The so-called Hound of Doom was supposed to seek enemies, attack, and then hang on to them until they shook him off or were defeated. Interesting concept, but at the end of the day, it's just like a really... like a less condensed version of the agents, I suppose. Yeah. Here's another version of the animations. They're trying to eat and stuff like that. Whoa! Bonk. Interesting stuff. Hi chat. Woohoo! Alright, to explain this one. This is the original Masked Captain Qwark War when Ratchet first finds him on Florana. It was found to be too silly and was replaced with one a little more somber. That is true, because he's meant to be like this scary leader of sorts. Alright, so this is one of the secret little computers here that hides a code. Hides another cheat code. This one says Yingzu though. I'll explain this one. It's a password, but it cannot be used on my version of the game. I'm pretty sure it was only on the Japanese and possibly the Korean version of this game. So to anybody who wondered what the Yingzu thing is, another picture of Florana and Dan Johnson, because why not? Yeah, so some of them hide little secrets. Interesting. I think here we have another model of the hovership, of how it potentially would have looked. This is one of the early designs of the hovership, which can be found in both the single and multiplayer parts. Yeah. Plain and simple. Alternate hovership. Alright, we gotta watch out. So, I didn't warn chat about this bit. This is an alternate version of Chainblade from the previous game. For some reason, he shows up here and can fight you, and instead of having swords, he has these strange-looking whips. He's doing the same, like, attacks, and he's still, you know, they turn into swords when they come out, but then they become whips. I can understand why they changed it. It doesn't really make too much sense. He's not super strong, and he doesn't give you any bolts, but nonetheless, I guess they put him here as a way to show... you know, show that it was an early concept of him. Alright. But yeah, I have sunk many a time in this museum, uncovering the secrets. Alright, here we go. Ooh. So this here, I believe, was how Captain Blackstar was gonna look. And all his different animations and stuff. And he swipes. Here he would fire a laser. I'll show you guys how I know this stuff soon, but yeah. Alright, Captain Blackstar, the original boss enemy at the end of the Qwark Vid-Comic. He ultimately proved too complex and was cut. Yep, because for the Vid-Comic they went for more of a Metroid Mario type of short and sweet gameplay. Another vehicle. Early on, we planned to have a turbo slider races included in Ratchet Clank 3. Due to lack of time, however, they were eventually cut. However, you can still drive around on the only racetrack ever to be created. Alright, so this is another, like, cut level. They had the idea of turbo slider races. Honestly, I don't know how that would have fit in the story. With what they chose for the plot, I don't know how that would have fit, so it makes sense to be cut. But yeah, I'll show you guys the only racetrack they ever built. And I've definitely seen people mess around with this and do all sorts of strange things. So, as you can tell, very much a race course indeed. jumps. The physics are a little off. The collision is almost non-existent in some parts. To me, it doesn't really make sense having a vehicle here on the Florana jungle. You know, it's just pulling, it's straight out pulling an Endor. But you know, you can do all sorts of silly things. Like so. Imagine being a kid and just discovering this, just spending time just driving around aimlessly. What happens if I go this way? I wouldn't be surprised if the map just goes full circle, but yeah. That's the bonus level there. It's an interesting one. This room seems so bare without chain blade in it. Okay, I'm not sure if I went over here. Oh, there's a hacker puzzle here. Okay, so to explain this one, chat, they had a similar concept in, I think, the previous game as well, where you could actually make your own puzzle, and then you could, you know, if you had a friend over, they could try and beat your puzzle, which I just think is pretty cool to include. Definitely sink some time doing that. I think I went through here. Unfortunately, because it's modeled to look like their Burbank offices, it means that it's a little bit of a maze to try and get around and find what you need to find. That part they did not change from the previous one, but I think that was kind of the idea. They really wanted to make you feel like you're a part of this. Alright, Mike here again. Our QA testers put their heads together and came up with a number of fiendishly hard hacker puzzles. See if you're good enough to beat them. If you can, you win some bolts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you win like 20k for each one of these you beat. So you could easily spend some time and do the hacker puzzles, which, believe me, I'm very tempted. I'm just not sure if chat would want to watch that, but I'm very, very tempted. So maybe we'll come back to that a little later. After all, we're doing a museum tour of a hidden level. Okay, so I think what we need to do is just press on ahead. This was the Hank room. This level's a lot bigger than the last one, so it's just a matter of going to the right area. Alright, don't think we've been this way. So you can also walk on parts of the ceiling as well, but I find that to just be more confusing for navigation. See, random picture of Hank here on the desk, because why not? Cheeky Hank. And I don't get bored of the soundtrack either. And fun fact to chat, there actually was a track that was cut, a song. It's not provided here in the Insomniac Museum, but I have heard it, and it's a pretty cool track. I don't think it would have fit anywhere in the game except for maybe a Vid-Comic. The actual tone of it maybe doesn't suit any of the levels. Ooh, the bombs away set. Okay, I'll show chat this. It's very quick though, so pay attention. Here we go, there's a thug, there's a Qwark. So this one's a bit of a weird one because it's meant to be like, you're meant to be able to play it as a minigame, but it doesn't work. And I don't know if it's because it's a regional thing, because I've heard that it somewhat is. Although I think I just glitched Qwark way over here. What the heck happened? What the heck happened to Qwark? Where did he go? Yeah, there was a thug, there was Qwark, I think there was a trooper bot of some kind. Yeah, that bombs away set is usually a lot of the enemies either blow up or despawn too quickly to really see much happening. So I hope you guys got to see some part of it. Okay, in a similar fashion to the previous game, you can actually mess around and make your own like little lighting and explosion assets and stuff. So, scale. I can do gravity. And then I can change the RGB values. And if I add more red, I make it like... So we messed around with it a little bit. You can change all the different values. So you can really have fun with it. Backed by popular demand, you can edit your own special effects. Just enter the debug menu and change the values. So yeah, they just let you play around with that stuff and figure out if you want to become a game developer or something, which I think is sweet. So I think a lot of us around this era of gaming probably got interested in how games were made and stuff. So it's nice that we had the option to kind of look some of this stuff up. Alright. I'll show you guys this one. All hail Mr. Fist. Because he has big fist. Oh, donated. Yeah, he donated the asset. Okay, he didn't have anything to say. Alright. But yeah, all hail Mr. Fister. Here's another little hidden room, just randomly. I don't know why. It's just a little corner office. I'm pretty sure they're just trying to model as close to scale as they can. Can't fly up here. This one's so big. Ratchet, you're so small in this room. Must be an exec office or something. Alright. Alright, and then this tells you Insomniac Games website. If you join our online community, you'll be able to unlock additional multiplayer skins. Okay, fun fact for chat. I used to be a member. I don't know if my login still works. I don't even know if that portion of the website is actually still up and running, to be honest with you. But yeah, I used to be a part of the community, and I think that was before that was in the early days of the internet. Browsing on Windows XP and all that, because I hadn't upgraded, I was still using the family computer to go on there and chat on the forums and unlock skins and stuff, learn more about my favorite game. It was honestly cool to have like a fan community like that. Nowadays you just use social media and you kind of take that kind of information for granted. The website's still up, but I don't know whether or not you can still access the forums and stuff the same way. From memory there was secret stuff hidden around here too, so I'll show off what I can. Alright. So go to Pirate vs Ninja set. Show you guys this. So this area will make a whole lot more sense once we hop off the hidden planet. I'll show you guys a bit more about this, but it's cool that they let you spawn to the set. I didn't think they would actually let you do this, but yeah, this will make more sense a little later as we progress. I'm not sure which way I had to go to move off from here. Because there's definitely people online that messed around with the museum a bit more than they should, and probably uncovered more ways to do different things. Alright, I think this was the bomb set, yeah? Yeah, we've been to this one. Oh, this area is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure this was meant to be a sand shark of some kind. Yeah, early design for the sand shark enemy for the original Ratchet and Clank. It ended up not being the look we were looking for, however. Yeah, agreed. It looks more like a weird looking fish than an actual sand shark in my opinion. I think the final design looked a lot more menacing with its lack of eyes. But I do admire the animations they have for it. knockback. Oh, it diving into the sand. It dying, I guess? Getting stuck? Looking? It's swimming? Bigger fin? Yeah, it's cool stuff. Alright, so here we have some extra enemies. I think, in an earlier part of my playthrough, I was mentioning, that as a kid I was reading a lot of review magazines, and one of the review magazines had a screenshot of these actual enemies in the game. They were cut from the game. Oh, he saw me. This guy would throw crates, and the other one was just basically a little rolling ball type enemy. Honestly, he kind of reminds me of a fire crab from Harry Potter on the PS2. Just similar color scheme, and the fact that he rolled into a little ball. Okay, we just sucked him into another dimension. You guys didn't really get to have a good look at him. But there's assets preserved of him on the Ratchet Galaxy website. And I'm pretty sure they'll respawn back in if I die. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this will say more information about it. But that's what kind of blew my mind as a kid. When I saw that screenshot, I was convinced that there was a secret area where those enemies were, and I tried my best to find it. I didn't realize that literally just the author or the reviewer or whoever deals with the photos had just used a beta photo of cut enemies. That concept did not resonate in my mind. Oh, Tony Garcia, another regular here at Insomniac Games. These enemies were originally for Planet Dax. Yes, they were. They were cut because their behavior was too complex for an enemy that only appeared once in the game. Yeah, exactly. They just thought for one occurrence it wasn't really worth it. The Swarmer was also going to appear with the ape enemies on Dax. They were cut in favor of the Fireflies because the Fireflies were much less bug prone. No pun intended, huh? Less bug prone, huh? Alright. Let's see what else we can find. Bombs away. That's where Mr. Fister is. Okay, I'll try and circle around so I can get my bearings again. That's what the sand shark was. Okay. The hover ship and all that? Yep. There definitely is more here. I'm just terrible at finding it. I can hear Chainblade spawned back here again. I don't know if I'll earn XP using this, but it doesn't seem to actually hit him. It's kind of irritating when you think about it. Oh well, bye bye Chainblade. This room's just filled with just a lot of these sorts of things. I'm gonna give the hacker a try. I'll give the first person a try. Alright, Ed, let's try your hacker puzzle. You really tease with all these greens, oh my gosh. They really try to test your patience with that. Alright, some of the Insomniac Museum stuff is actually not accessible in the museum, ironically enough. But I'll be able to show that stuff pretty shortly as well. When we hop off here, I'll be able to show you guys those hidden secrets as well. Part of me wants to try and show you guys the Vid-Comic again if I don't get stuck on that platform. Whoops, I jumped to the wrong one. But yeah, it's like off stream I probably would sink hours and hours on this, but I'm just trying not to be I'm trying to just be a bit more concise and show you guys all the different things available, and then if you play this game for yourself you can actually spend your time on the parts that you want to spend your time on. For one. There's also just an extra set of platforming here for like, not really sure why, to be honest. I think the final version of the level is definitely my preferred version. This one definitely has its issues. Definitely a very, See, I can't remember if you're meant to just grab that or if you're meant to, wall kick, but the problem is that it's not tall enough to actually wall kick, effectively. So, they definitely, like, it is possible to surpass this section. The problem is that this level is buggy as, so trying to get past this bit, you'll be fine, and then you'll be able to play a little bit more, and then you'll hit another roadblock. So it makes sense why they cut the whole thing. They probably had the actual testers just kind of pointing out too many things, and they just decided to just, you know, redo parts of it from scratch. I just wish I could show you guys more of it. I just don't want to lose my mind. Okay, I'll have a look through once more to see if there's anything we missed, and then I'll show you guys some of the other hidden stuff in the game. Okay, so I think when I went past here with the pirate ninja set, I think there was an extra ledge to traverse. I could be wrong, but I could be right as well. And I don't. That's the hanker room. I meant to go this way. Alrighty. So I'm just trying to navigate around here. I mean, if anybody, you know, has played this section a lot and wants to point something out to me, you're more than welcome to. It's just, yeah. Otherwise, why would they make this section so long, you know? They definitely entice you to keep looking. The only problem is that you kind of hit the end here. So I don't know. I think the thing I'm thinking of, I definitely I get the two Insomniac museums mixed up with each other because the content between the two is very different, but the layout of the level is more or less the same. So it can be really easy to blur the line and kind of miss out on some stuff. So guess I'll have one more last look in this direction, and then we might head over to the other secret stuff I have to show. Hopefully we can narrowly avoid Chainblade attacking us. There's those extra enemies again. Yeah, one of the computers here will show you another another cheat called Meghan. It's spelled like Megan with Meghan. I'll explain more about that one when we leave here. So yeah, like, I know it looks like I'm doing everything, but really there's just, you know, if you actually spend time on each thing specifically, you don't realize how quickly you lose hours of playtime trying all the different things. It's actually just crazy cool. So yeah, there's the cookie mask. Alright. But yeah, if I wasn't streaming right now, I probably would sink time trying to get through that Vid-Comic, but it is what it is. Anyway, chat, thought I'd show you guys the hidden level, which is the Insomniac Museum. Both Ratchet Clank 2 and 3 have one, but the content varies between both, but they both look the same, so it's always worth checking out both if you have the games available to you. You can learn more about game development and the behind the scenes of the first 3 Ratchet Clank games. So, as a great big fan, I always love coming back here and looking at stuff. And even if you're not like the biggest Ratchet & Clank fan, but you maybe want to learn like game design and stuff like that, this was definitely like a nice little like pathway, especially if you got this game as a kid. It was a nice little pathway to kind of look at that stuff and realize that, hey, there's a lot into making a game. And I think that's really cool. So, big thanks to Insomniac Games for including that. It's awesome. Other games in the series definitely have their own little like hidden level that showcases their stuff, but I definitely think the ones from Ratchet & Clank 2 and 3 are the most memorable for people. So yeah, worth showing that. Now off we head to our next stop. Thankfully here you can just fly directly, as opposed to the last game where I had to teleport and then fly again. From here I can actually just fly, so last time we were on Dantopia in the previous game, and this game we're on the Insomniac Moon, so I guess it's a bit more fitting. But yeah, we're gonna head on over to the Starship Phoenix, and I'm gonna show you guys the other secret stuff. So yeah, Starship Phoenix, I did mention earlier on, has heaps of content. More than you realize. But yeah. I just love the series. Alright, so I guess I want to quickly show the Qwark to people because I didn't buy it during my playthrough, sadly. Alright. And since I'll get the option to test it here. In true Ratchet & Clank fashion, having a morphing weapon is always awesome. And turning these Gadgetron robots into various animals over the years has been very satisfying. Look at all the quacking duckies! Alright, 180k. It's quite pricey. Alright, now I'm gonna show you guys some of the other stuff that I left out during the main playthrough. So, yeah, we'll check that in a second. So over here is the trophy room, of course. We did actually get... So we have these ones, Ratchet, Clank, Qwark, Nefarious, Scrunch. We got the Lawrence trophy on the final planet. We got the Klammer, 20 Gears, Al, Friend of the Rangers, and the few missing, so all of the ones that are not on pedestals, you can actually get those ones as well, but they're actually only available to challenge mode players. So if you were to play through challenge mode, you'd have extra trophies to get, and that's what those missing spaces are. Alright, now we didn't spend too much in the VR simulation during my playthrough, but it's just worth pointing out that aside from the normal gadget training that you do with Helga for the fitness course, you actually have arena challenges with those crash test dummies. You're not going to get like a huge reward per se, but what you wouldn't know is that if you defeat all of these crash test dummy challenges, you get a titanium bolt. So personally, these are like a more efficient way to go earn cash and all that kind of stuff, in comparison to spending a lot of time in Annihilation Nation, because I think you frequent the Phoenix a bit more regularly, that you can kind of knock these ones out really quickly. Annihilation Nation ones you have to spend a lot more time on. So just thought I'd point out that, you know, these mini games are a thing. Arena battles are a thing, and when you beat them all, you get a titanium bolt. And with the VR gadgets training, if you do it in under 51 seconds, you get a skill point. Although I'm not going to do it now because it'll probably annoy me. Skid's here being skid. Alright. So now to show you guys, probably the next thing I have to show you guys. So, right. So if you guys remember, when we were just at the Insomniac Museum, one of the hidden Vid-Comics can actually be accessed without the need of visiting the Insomniac Moon. So what I just did just then is I pressed all the way up, and you had all these that say, you know, best time completed, but then you can actually activate an extra one up here and it says not completed. And it'll take you to the Vid-Comic. So, nice little secret here. This one takes you to the unfinished one. It's the same one that I showed you guys before, but it's just an alternate way to go play it if you wanted to play it. And it's kind of, you know, all in one place. So you can just play this one from the comfort of the Phoenix, which I just think is kind of interesting. I don't know if that was intentional. I wouldn't be surprised if that was just left in the game's code and not rectified. But nonetheless, it's an alternate way to access that hidden level. So if that helps anybody, enjoy. Now, as soon as we load back in, if you guys remember, I don't know why it flies you back like this. I guess because it's flying you to the museum and it's not actually... Yeah. So, because it's not intentional for you to be able to access it by those means, it's why it thinks you're coming back from the Insomniac Museum and it has to fly you back. Which is, yeah, it looks odd, but it makes sense from a programming standpoint. But anyway, so the next thing I'm going to show you guys is, I was talking about hidden cheat codes. And funnily enough, when you're at this Qwark Vid-Comic menu, you press square and it brings up a password section, which is strange. So I'll show you guys. I mentioned there was one that said Ying Tzu, but...
Today, the cafeteria will be serving Helga's special high-protein meatloaf recipe. Join your appetite!
Okay, but this is how you type the code, but as you notice, it doesn't work. And I'm pretty sure it's because, you know, if it's not an NTSC-J version. If it's an NTSC-J version, this will work. But yeah. The next code I'll show you guys is the one that we didn't find at the museum because I got a little bit lost. But I know the code off by heart, so I'll show you guys this one. So... just inputting the code there, and I think I spelt it right. Did I spell it right? Okay, yeah, I just put the letters in the wrong spot. I spelled it right, I just put it in the wrong space. Yep, so there we go. It's been a little while since I've used this code. But yeah, check this out, chat. So now I move over a space and press start. Alright, now if you guys remember the Pirate Ninja set, we can actually play the fight. So right now I'm playing as the ninja. It kind of operates similar to a fighting game in the sense that you you use up to jump and stuff like that. So there's not really too much you can do other than just beat up the Captain Blackstar pirate. But fun fact, if you were to plug in a second controller, you'd be able to actually do a versus with a friend. So it's just a hidden fighting game mode, basically, on your Vid-Comic. Even though technically, it's teleporting you back to the museum. And if you remember, the playset was a large grid that Ratchet was able to walk on. So the camera is only showing you a portion of that grid. And that's like another game design thing, it's pretty cool to think about. But yeah. Alright, but basically that's all there is to show since I'm only one player. But this is just a hidden little versus mode that you could do if you had a second player and you had a friend join in. One could be the pirate, one could be the ninja. It's a pretty cool thing, isn't it? So that's another little nugget of the Insomniac Museum that I thought I could showcase to you all. So yeah, we did the pirate versus ninja fight. I'm trying to think. I don't know, I'm still convinced that the Ying 2 one could probably work, but I mean, I tried it. I'm gonna try it one more time, but as far as I know, for as long as I've known, I've never been able to get it to work. So I've always just assumed it's a regional thing. Because Ratchet and Clank games definitely have you know, some hidden content that's exclusive only to certain regions of the game. Like the Japanese version of this game has extra skins that we don't get in the West, including one of Piposaru, which is one of the monkeys from Ape Escape. There's also one with Ratchet as a sumo wrestler, which honestly looks kind of disturbing. Just because Ratchet does not suit the wrestler. But yeah. Try it with a V, right? In case it just, maybe it's a typo thing, but yeah, it just doesn't work. I don't know. I could just never get this one to work. So I'd chalk it up to the fact that it's probably an NTSC-J thing. But just worth pointing to you guys out that both you know, both codes are a thing. So I've shown you guys, yeah, I've shown you guys that. But yeah, you shouldn't be able to access that extra one there, but... And I'm pretty sure regardless if you complete it or not, it would say not completed, just because it's not meant to actually be there, you're not actually meant to access it there. It's meant to be exclusively an Insomniac Museum thing. But one more note of the Insomniac Museum is probably the trophy room here. Now, you'd wonder why there's a door here. It doesn't technically do much, but if you were to whack it, you'd suddenly be more intrigued.
I'm sorry, that area is restricted. You don't have access yet.
Now, what would that mean to us? Probably not much, but technically, there is an alternate way to the Insomniac Museum, and it's through this door. But I think for most people, they just use the intended method, which is just to, you know, go use the teleporter. But this is meant to be like a quick on-the-fly version that you can use at your own pace, which I think is pretty cool. They made a variety of different ways to access it. Alright, and I guess I'll just outline the different armor. So we had the Adamantine, the Aegis Mark V, and the Infernox armor, which was the final armor of the game, cost 1,000,000 bolts. Repels a hefty amount of damage, kind of necessary for anyone playing challenge mode because the enemies are much stronger. But yeah, it's I only bought the first armor. Because there's definitely some playthroughs where I use armor and some playthroughs where I just don't. It's really all up to the player. I guess I can just show you guys, I think it was Aridia. There was one thing I had to show you guys on Aridia. Yeah, there's Aridia. We did that, we did that. Oh, and it's actually Thyrranosis. So we'll go to Thyrranosis first, because that's the one I know how to do. And then we'll maybe head to Aridia, and yeah. Off we go to Thyrranosis, chat. I hope you all have been able to enjoy this. I greatly appreciate you guys stopping by and giving this a view. And if there's anything you'd like to see me play, feel free to let me know in the chat. Comments, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. Okay, so I need to remember which actual, it's the one on the far left. Yeah. Go, Scrunchy boy! This was a fun level. Alright. Just gonna blast my way through them, not a problem. Alright. Got those little bots as well, little Tyrannoids. So yeah, we couldn't access this area last time because we didn't have the hyper shot. Not a very long section, but worth showing to chat. Heck yeah, we got the titanium bolts. So I probably won't get all of them, but the fact that I've been able to find a majority of the ones out in the field is pretty cool, because I wanted to show you guys how to get those ones. Some of them are actually only collectible, actually the Starship Phoenix, funnily enough. Because some of them you get from Qwark Vid-Comics, and one of them from those, crash test dummy missions. So you really will lose a lot of time in this game. Like, I say that because it's just a really fun game and they give you so much to do. See ya, Scrunch. Alright. Now we'll quickly head on over to Aridia, because I will go to that section that was marked green, and I have an idea of where that is, but because I need to refresh my memory on that last one, but yeah, we'll check that out. I think you need to go to the final mission here to pick at it. Yep.
If somebody could push through those tunnels, we could launch a direct assault on the enemy base. Solenoids up ahead, Sarge. You go in and clear them out. I cover the rear. Incoming saucers!
Yeah, so I think it might actually be this sealed off area. So this area is sealed off because in multiplayer you would normally hop on there with the gravity boots and stuff. So that's why a lot of this area is sealed off, because it's meant to be multiplayer only. But there is one area I can show you guys. Because I only briefly touched on this when I was here last time. See, it's all sealed off. This is normally how you would sneak in here and stake out the outpost. That's how you would stake out the outpost during multiplayer, if you want to try and get these Gatling turrets and stuff like that. But you can also actually fly behind the base here. And what do we have here? A lovely titanium bolt for the collection.
The enemy base is wide open. Time to finish the job.
But yeah, we got that bit sorted. So I guess I'll just finish up the mission, because I kind of just blasted through here. See, he did get aggravated when I was up here, so they were able to see me. And the splitter rifle is so much stronger. There we go.
Outpost X12 has been secured.
Alright, chat, so I think that's the vast majority of what I can show you guys on today's stream. We will be doing one more part where I actually I'm going to reveal now where we're actually going to do some multiplayer. So in order to do that, I'll have to schedule some stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next part or on a future live stream or video